know if I've ever heard anybody say that they don't like Chris Hemsworth. And if they did say that, they probably can't be trusted anyways. So why is he so likable? I'm answering that right now. What is up, heroes? Welcome to Athletic Assault, where we combine superheroes and fitness to help you attack your dreams. This video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be talking about why Chris Hemsworth is so likable. I can't think of one person that has said that they don't like Chris Hemsworth. And if they have said that they don't like Chris Hemsworth, honestly, I don't think you should be friends with them anymore. Anyways, we're going to break down 3 reasons why I think he is so gosh dang likable right now. What did you think was the reason that people like Chris Hemsworth before doing any research? Before doing any research, I thought one of the biggest reasons why he is so likable was because he's just really ridiculously good looking.
Did you ever think that maybe there's more to life than being really ridiculously good looking?
And that probably is still so, but after doing some further research, by watching some videos, I mean, there's a ton of videos on like all of his jokes in his interviews. There's a ton of videos on just like how awesome Chris Hemsworth is on YouTube. Also, Charisma on Command made a really great video about Chris Hemsworth, and I'll put a link to it in the description below. I really feel like there is 3 reasons why he is so likable. Now, these aren't the only 3 reasons. Obviously, him being really handsome is a good reason why he is so likable. But I think these 3 reasons can be implemented by all of us to be more likable, to give more life, and encourage more people. So the first thing that Chris Hemsworth does so well is that he is so kind. He is always complimenting his castmates, talking so highly about them. I mean, with Thor Ragnarok coming out, literally, he talks so highly of Cate Blanchett, Mark Ruffalo. He talks a ton about Mark Ruffalo. Also, he talks a ton about how awesome Taika Waititi is, or Tom Hiddleston. He's just so kind to his other castmates that it really plays out in interviews. You can just see it. Whenever they're doing an interview together, you really see how nice he is to those castmates, and he makes them feel so welcomed. He makes them feel so encouraged. I mean, this is a guy who's at the top of his game. He's in the best shape of any of these actors and actresses, but he comes in just ready to roll, ready to encourage, and that really helps him be more likable. And I think if you watch an interview that he does with someone else, I think you'll see that play out. Also, he is a great family man, and that just makes everybody more likable when you really love your family. And he does that. He loves his kids, he loves his wife, and so that's just an added bonus to being more kind. Another thing I noticed is that he's incredibly humble. I mean, this guy is in the best shape of any of these actors or any of these actresses, like I said earlier, and he stays in that shape all throughout the year, not just when he's filming. I made a couple videos about that, so I won't go into that too much. I'll just put a card right here that you can click on. But also, he is at the top of his game. I mean, he is one of the most famous, well-renowned actors in the game right now. He's one of the funniest. He's an action star. I mean, he is at the height of his career. But when he gets complimented, he always is so humble and so grateful for that compliment. And that just shows the person, and he's genuinely humble. You know, the worst is when you're not genuinely humble. But he is genuinely humble, and he passes off compliments to the director or to his castmates or to Marvel as a whole, different things like that, and it just shows his genuineness. You know, all of us know that prideful guy or girl, and they're just not fun to be around because they just talk about themselves all the time, or if any story you tell, they try to one-up that story, and Chris is just not like that in the slightest. The last thing that I think Chris Hemsworth does so well is that he is just himself. You know, he is a funny, confident guy, and he shows that. You know, I think Thor Ragnarok is a great example of that. The first 2 Thor films were not well loved by most of the fans, but I feel like in Thor Ragnarok they shifted gears, and Chris got to put more of himself into that character, and people loved it. I mean, some people were saying that it is one of the funniest Marvel films of all time. And that is a huge deal because a lot of that script was actually improv by Chris or by the actors. And so that just shows that he is really, really funny. And if you watch any of his interviews, I mean, you will just die laughing at some of the jokes, the way that he delivers jokes, and the way that he uses different things for his humor. And that's just his personality. He's not trying to be something that he's not. He's himself. He's very confident in who he is. And he shares praise because he's not afraid of not being good enough. And that just goes a long way because you're not afraid of what other people think about you. I mean, he doesn't take himself too seriously. He goofs around and makes jokes. He's not worried about what other people think about him, so he can just be free to be himself. And that just makes him so likable. So how can we apply those 3 things that make Chris Hemsworth so likable to us? The reason I didn't include that he's good looking or that you had to be funny to be likable is because some of us just aren't that good looking. Most all of us are not that good looking. And some of us are not funny. We don't use humor in that kind of way. And that's okay. Because one, being kind and being humble can be taught. And those are critical things for being likable. And honestly, this goes far deeper than being likable. It goes deeper into just being a good person. You know, being kind to others is super important when you're attacking your dreams because it's gonna take people to go after your goals and to help you accomplish those things. And so if you're not kind to them, people aren't gonna wanna be around you. Also, being humble is really, really critical because if you're gifted with talent in whatever area, whether it's sports or videography or music, like it is so important that you are humble with that talent and let that humility drive you to work extra hard on that talent, refining it into a skill that you can do long term. Also, being humble just makes you so refreshing to be around because if you're naturally talented at something, people are already looking at you as an example. And when you can lead in humility, it will make you a better leader. The last thing is just being yourself. Every one of us is created uniquely. You were created with different passions, with different talents, with a different sense of humor, with a different personality for a reason. Don't try to be something that you're not. Don't try to be Chris Hemsworth. Be yourself. Be who you are with the different interests that you like. I'm over here talking about superheroes and fitness and helping you attack your dreams. Like, that is not a combination you see every day. But those are things that I'm into, and I want to teach you guys how to be the best versions of yourself and help you attack your dreams and go after your goals. So just be yourself. Be authentic to who you are. Talk about things that you enjoy. Like, those things go a long way. And listen when others are talking about things that they enjoy, that you might not necessarily enjoy, but listen to them. Hear them out so that you can encourage someone to continue to be themselves even when it's hard. And that's why kindness and humility go hand in hand with being yourself, because this is going to just help you overall in your relationships, just be more kind to people, push people to be themselves, and for you to be yourself in a social environment. Heroes, this was a little different video, but I hope you enjoyed it. This is something I'm very passionate about, is teaching you guys other skills other than fitness through these superhero actors and actresses, because there is a lot that we can learn from these characters and these actors, and so I want to help you guys learn those things and give you guys those skills. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below. You can just say something like attack your dreams, or you can tell me why you think Chris Hemsworth is so likable. Heroes, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later, heroes.